first fucking podcast. You ready?
Yeah.
It's live now.
It is live?
Yeah, it's fucking recording now. So how do you feel?
Great.
All right, cool.
All right, guys, you can find us on...
You can find us on SoundCloud at D-Trap. I want to make a rap group. Okay, that could be safe for another one.
Hold on.
I'm Benji.
I'm Tristan.
And this is the 50-50 podcast. All right, say the first thing come to your mind. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Oranges.
Wow, you feel fucking fruity. Why oranges?
I was looking at the green screen, and I thought that's a color.
So your mind was oranges?
Yeah, and then I remembered the other day when I said something about bananas, and I immediately just went to fruit.
It's not good enough of an explanation.
I can try harder.
Okay. All right, welcome to the podcast, guys. So basically, let's talk about what this podcast is going to be. Yep. This podcast is going to be me and you, and then maybe one other person every once in a while, just talking about random shit in our lives.
For sure.
And then maybe talking about a topic here every once in a while.
Debating
and stuff like that. And then, I don't think there's anything else we can talk about that. It's called the 50. Let's talk about why it's called the 50-50 podcast, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So forever ago, like last year, and this is forever ago, there was a game that was announced for the PS4. It was a Spider-Man video game. And I asked Tristan, we're roommates. Let me throw that in the story real quick. We're roommates.
Partners.
Yeah. My parents watch this.
Your parents aren't watching anything you're
putting out. But this video game came out, and I was like, oh, do you want to go 50-50 on it? And he was like, yeah, for sure. And for some reason, I could never remember that you said yes. For some reason, I was like, did he say yes or did he say no?
You mean minimum once a week?
I asked you minimum like 50 times total. Like
50-50 podcast.
50-50 podcast. So we were trying to think of names for podcasts, and nothing felt right. And you know what's crazy? I had the idea for that name like the entire time we were talking about doing a podcast.
Really?
I never mentioned it because I was like, I doubt he'd want to do it or call it that. And it's so funny because that's what we fucking decided to call it.
Did I not say it to you? And then you were like, that's crazy. I was thinking about that. Am I wrong on that? Did you come up with this one?
I like from the beginning of when we had the podcast, like I always had it in my head, but I never said anything. So it might have gone down that way. I don't remember. I remember where I was sitting when we were.
It's crazy when we you and I do that all the time. It's bizarre.
Remember the thing. There's actually a story between us that we saw this movie, and for some reason, we saw a trailer for a movie, but we couldn't remember the actual movie that we saw.
So we remembered it vividly, like
where we were sitting,
like seeing the trailer, where we were sitting in the movie theater. We remember it was in December, right? December of last year.
Yeah.
And we just can't remember what movie we saw.
Dude, it was ridiculous.
Because we thought it was Spider-Man.
We thought it was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but we remember sitting in a different place for that. Yeah. Plus, there was that annoying fucking guy next to us.
Yeah, the dude that just would not stop.
Laughing at everything.
And it wasn't even like during the jokes. Like when the jokes came on, I looked over to see oh, this one's going to get him. And just dead silent.
And it just did the dumbest thing. Like, Miles would fucking hit a grave and he'd be like, I'd be like, what the fuck?
He was an idiot.
Dude,
I'm telling you, 4-year-olds.
Okay, good first podcast topic, though, is a story of how we met.
Okay, we haven't told this story a million times to our
for
friends.
Real. So, there's a day that I think I remember that you don't remember. It was our freshman year. It was a freshman year.
Okay.
I remember we were in the atrium. We were in high school, freshman year of high school. We were in the atrium watching that, anti-bullying video.
Okay, hold on. Because I remember...
I don't think I've ever said that part, though, but go ahead.
I don't think you've ever said that either, because if you did, I would have remembered, because wasn't that when Melissa referred to us as the family or whatever?
She always did, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. But she, said that out loud in front of, the entire school, and I remember just, wanting to throw hands.
Why?
I didn't want to be a part of that family. I'm a lone wolf.
Look at us now.
Yeah, big facts.
But, so, and you said this is the same for you. Basically, you were hyped up to me... a lot. Mainly this one girl, Sam, that we mutually know, hyped it because she was like, oh, you know Tristan, right? And I was like, never fucking heard of him. And she was like, oh, you would love him. You would love Tristan. And I was mad at Sam that day. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that guy. Don't fucking tell me who I would and would not like, all right? Don't tell me who I'm going to fucking get along with, all right, you little bitch.
See, okay, so, same thing. Sam told me. She was like, oh, no, you would love Benji. And Kristen. Kristen was the other person that told me because we had the same English class.
Shout out, Kristen.
But, yeah, big facts. So they both told me, they were like, you need to meet Benji. You love Benji. You guys have such similar personalities. Like, it'd be dope. And I just remember being like, all right, so we're setting the bar low.
Why? Because of the person who told you?
That and the fact they said that our personalities were similar. I'm like, I'm going to hate this guy.
Yeah, I feel like if I met myself, I wouldn't like myself.
No, I'd bully the shit out of myself.
Not even that.
Especially high school me. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if I met myself, like, I'd be like, this guy, like, definitely has some fucking issues.
That's fair.
But yeah, so like, and then we met. So that was hyped up to me. And then we met in the atrium. And Sam was like, oh, this is the Tristan you're talking about. And I was like, this is the guy.
See, I don't remember that.
I do. And I remember being able to bounce jokes off you easy. Like, we had a good back and forth
crazy.
that day. But it was so quick. We didn't talk for like more than like 3 minutes.
So the first day I ever remember hanging out with you
Was the next year.
Actually, wasn't till the last day of school our sophomore year.
Really?
So over a year later. It was the day that we went to Dairy Queen with Walker and
You're
Brady.
high. You're high.
What do you mean?
Okay, let me explain. You're fucking so, and then we went. We had that summer. You and me never talked to each other because we just had no reason to.
Right.
And then that school year is when we had lunch together. It was sophomore year.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's why I was like, don't.
That's crazy.
You're high.
Why is it that I don't remember? Because I remember like the lunches, but I always thought that like that was the first day we. No, I'm dumb because didn't we go back to my mom's that day after sophomore year when Walker drove us?
Probably. I mean, we did that a lot.
We did that a lot.
So the reason I remember that is because I had dyed hair back then.
You had like blue hair, right?
I had blue hair,
like
exactly.
Dark blue.
Because later in that year is when I got the job at this pizza place, and I had to change my hair back.
Yeah.
So sophomore year, I had dyed hair, and that's when I met you.
I thought the dyed hair had to go away for the other job, the one you got after that.
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't allowed to have dyed hair at the pizza place either. It was really dumb. And then
I guess I could see that with that place, yeah.
And to be honest, when I remember re-meeting you too, because we didn't talk all that summer, because like we just had that one conversation. But then we hung out at lunch. We had the same lunch, and we had a lot of mutual friends. Like, I'm surprised we didn't meet each other sooner.
No, we literally all of our best friends were in the exact same group.
Exactly. So, and I remember going to lunch with you, and I thought you were just there like sitting for the day. So I remember not talking to you a lot because I was like, it's just not like it's not worth putting in effort.
Right.
I just thought
I'm
you were
never
gonna
talk to this guy again.
I think you were sitting with somebody else like the very first day. I think it was like Zach McWhorter or something like that. Shout out Zach. Maybe I don't know. Maybe, I think it was another group of people. Then you came, so I was like, oh, he's just gonna like switch back and forth, like whatever. But then you started sitting with us like every day, and we had homeroom. No, we didn't. You had a different homeroom, but you always came to our homeroom. Or were you in our homeroom?
Who was all in that one?
It was Keo's homeroom.
Yeah, I had that.
So
I had that. No,
Cameron.
Cameron was the
didn't
one
have
that didn't have it.
Shout out Cameron. Shout out Grim the Reaper. He's on my album. But okay, it's all another thing. We're getting a lot in this podcast.
Plug the album real quick.
What? Plug the album real quick. It's not out yet, but so yeah, and then we kind of just bounced off each other very, very easily. I remember being that, and then I remember like solidifying our friendship because there was one day I was really upset.
Did we consummate it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that either.
Fucking,
I had a lot of drinks that you gave me. What'd you put in that?
What didn't I put in? That's
so
fair. I have another thing to say about our high school after this, but so it was a day that I was really, really upset and I didn't want to fucking talk to anybody. And I remember you texting me and I was like, oh, okay, so like this is some real shit right here. Some real bro shit right here. And then you, me, and our mutual friend Walker started hanging out like all the time. That chunk of like sophomore year.
That summer
And
after sophomore year, we were together pretty much every single day.
Exactly. But yeah, so the thing I wanted to say about our high school actually. So actually, let me clarify something too. Let's introduce ourselves a little bit more. Like I said, I'm Benji, and I'm 22 at this point. How crazy is that? I'm 25.
No, it hits me whenever I think about it because
I'm
I'm Tristan and I'm 21, but I turned 22 in like 2 months.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Because I feel like 22 is at the point where like you stop being like, not really being like a kid because you're done being a kid sort of, but like you're starting to become a grown up.
I feel like it's got like more weight to it as a number.
Yeah, I feel like 25 is when it really starts to hit.
25 is like, okay, you need to have your shit together.
Yeah. Or at least be in the process of getting it there.
You should have your fucking life set out. Not your entire life, but you should be in the direction that you should. You know what I mean? But you're talking about before that. I was talking about high school, right?
Yeah, something crazy about our high school.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna introduce ourselves a little bit more. This is gonna be a wild ass podcast.
Oh God.
But basically, like, I have my own YouTube channel. I don't post on it much, and it's crazy to think about high school because we just mentioned it because that was 5 years ago, dude. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Maybe coming up on 5.
It's 4.
4.
It's 4 because we graduated in 16.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically our lives, and we live in a house together, a 5-bedroom house, just us two. We might get another member here soon, but we'll see where that comes. And we're gonna do this podcast hopefully once a week.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited. We've like danced around the idea of doing a podcast for
forever.
Like
we've
a long
attempted
time.
it.
We've
once,
attempted it,
but
I thought more than once. Because we tried that one time where everybody was sitting at the table, and
then the Clubhouse podcast, which was a whole nother story one day.
Yeah.
But so the thing I want to talk about high school real quick is how crazy, how basically like the year after we left is when like juuling and vape pens and stuff became huge.
See, I don't remember them ever, like, I know that they're huge now. I don't remember them kicking off.
I do.
Really?
I do heavily, but like
I don't even remember like the first time I like saw a Juul or a vape pen. I just remember like it being a thing.
Really? It just kind of popped out of nowhere?
Yeah.
So the way I remember, it was our first year out of high school, right? And I had, first of all, my little brother was still in our high school. And I had friends that were younger and stuff. They would always post memes about like how the bathrooms are now Juul rooms. Be like, oh, it's so weird how they put these urinals in the Juul rooms. And then I have one friend named Zoe, shout out Zoe, who was still in high school, and like she juuled, she had this nicotine addiction. Like people basically the year younger than us really like popped off when it comes to like nicotine and all that shit. Cause that was still the big era when it was like mango flavor, apple flavor were still coming around.
It's crazy to me that like it's viewed as cool. Cause like, I mean, like when you think about it in our high school, like, don't get me wrong, there was a bunch of people that smoked weed and whatnot, but like cigarettes was kind of known to just be like trashy. Like trashy.
Exactly.
If you smoked, you were trashy.
And that's what amazes me about it.
And now juuling is so okay, here's my question for you. Do you think Juuls will die out eventually from the trend, or do you think they'll become the majority over cigarettes?
I think they'll die out as a trend, but I would hope that they overcome cigarettes.
I would hope so, yeah, because I trust me, I don't know enough about Juuls to like sit here and tell you the health benefits or the facts or whatever. Yeah, like, sure. But from what I understand, juuling is healthier in quotations than cigarettes, but it's,
from what I understand, there's more chemicals in juuling. But like the thing about juuling is there's no tobacco, so it's not gonna, like, you could juul once, hit it once, and it's not gonna fuck up your lungs. You smoke one cigarette.
Well, I thought that was the tar, not the tobacco that's doing that.
Yeah, there's no tar in juuling either.
Well, yeah, that's
so okay. I'm just saying cigarettes are just worse in general. Like, yeah, people try to make the argument, but like when it comes down to like long-term effects, like the big thing that's scary about juuling is we don't know the effects.
Sure. Yeah, because that's the thing when cigarette. I mean, look back at like, you know, the 50s and the 60s and all that. People were telling people it was cool to smoke and that it was, you know, the popular thing to do was smoke. You know, like they had 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds smoking cigarettes and all that, and their parents being like, yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, true.
And then we found out the health effects later on. So I wonder how that's going to progress.
You know what I feel like it's going to do that to next? Soda.
Ben, I hate to break it to you.
Well, yeah, I know that soda's not good for you now, but like back then they knew cigarettes weren't good. They just didn't know how fucking bad they were.
I feel like at this point we know how bad soda is. Like,
I guess.
I mean, you and I both used to drink a lot of soda. You used to probably drink way more than me.
I drank 10 a day. Bro.
Yeah. You used to drink a lot. I remember you finishing a 24-pack of Dr. Pepper
in one night.
Yeah.
When we would.
Yeah. No, like don't get me wrong. I remember those nights of sitting in your basement, you know, hanging out and getting Little Caesars pizza and all that, and all of us would like crush soda. Like I'd crush a 2-liter by myself and all that. Like, and you and I have both weaned off of it. We still have them occasionally. You usually only have them when you go out.
That's my thing, yeah. And I can't keep them at the house.
Yeah, no, I won't buy soda here unless it's like for like a mixer or something. Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking so let's tell the story of how we almost died the other day. It's a good like first actual podcast story because like, yeah, we had our intro and how we met and stuff. But so basically, we were on our way back from this restaurant about 45 minutes away from our house, and our friend Jordan was driving, our mutual friend Jordan. And I was in the back seat and Tristan was in passenger. And I'm going to tell from my point of view, you tell from yours. Okay. So basically, I was like sitting up near you guys for like the longest time. and like up almost like in the center console,
Yeah.
like leaning up against the center console. And I'm pretty sure I was still there like when it started to go down. And we were driving back from the city, and I don't want to say snowstorm because honestly, it wasn't that bad.
It was more like it was hailing, and like it
really
had just
cold.
rained. It had just rained, and then it dropped below freezing temperatures. So we were getting like freezing rain, hail, that type of thing.
Exactly. So I just remember I remember the storm kind of just smacking us and then like just going away overall real quick. But give me 1 second. Fucking. So we were in. I was in the fucking center console, and I remember literally Jordan just going, "Oh, here we go," and then I literally look up and we're literally sliding sideways. So what I do, I sit back down in like the back seat, but I don't put on my seatbelt. I don't know why, but I just remember being like, well, if like a seatbelt's not gonna help me or something like that, thinking that in my head. Fucking
What a great theory! What an awesome thing to think.
Well, I remember sitting there and like just thinking Jordan, and then I remember getting in my head because Jordan would swerve to like the left or right or whatever, would swerve left, and then would be about to straighten out, and I'd be like, okay, we're gonna be fine, and then he would swerve the vice versa direction, and I'd be like, nope, we're fucked. Like we're gonna do something. Like somebody's gonna get hurt. Something's gonna happen, and then he would go back to the center. I'd be like, okay, no, we're fine, and then he would swerve again, and I'd be like, fuck, like some car is going to hit us, some semi is going to hit us, and then he put it in the ditch, and my first immediate thought was, I'm gonna have to get out and push. That's my first immediate thought, because I was like, I'm not sitting here waiting for a tow truck. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care how soaked I'm going to get. I am getting the fuck out of this thing. I'm getting this car out of here.
And it was cold. Pushing that thing out was
freezing.
Ridiculous. And I remember getting back in the car after we pushed it out of the ditch, and Janderson just being like, man, it's cold. And I've never wanted to hit him in the face more.
I remember you snapping on him. You're like, it's cold, huh? So, and then when we got out to push, I was wearing my Nike Airs, which have like the flow air through it. And I remember as soon as we got the car like 2 feet away, I instantly stepped in this freezing puddle. And I just remember being like, fuck, like I might as well just put both feet in. And then I stepped another step and it got in the fucking freezing puddle. And as soon as I got back in the car, I took my shoes and socks off and just like wanted to warm up. And it honestly worked, but then I had to put my socks back on because I was like, "Oh, rip. Yeah, dude, I know that's awful." As soon as we got in, I took them right the fuck back off.
Yeah, I remember when we got inside, you just immediately the first thing you did was kick your shoes off and socks and everything. Yeah. So
your point of view.
So I was in the passenger seat and all that, and I was just playing my Switch because I was like, it's a long drive, might as well. And I just remember Janderson saying like, "Oh, here we go," and I like it took me a second to process, and I look up. Not even realizing that we are now sideways on the highway.
Yeah.
Like, still probably going 60 miles an hour sliding. Like, down that highway.
More than that, probably,
and
too.
I remember looking to my side and seeing the car's headlights facing towards me, like, as they were coming. Janderson fishtails it the other way, so now he's facing them. And he goes, oh, nope, we're not good. And then turns it back to where I am now, like, perpendicular to the cars that are coming at us, including the semi. And Janderson goes, oh, there we go, we're good. And just being like, no, we're not good. And when he put it in the ditch, I was like, okay, thank God he was at least smart enough to like, that's the first thing that should be done and all that. Like, we can figure it out from there. The middle of the highway is not where we want to be sitting. But I was so impressed by how calm Janderson was.
Yeah.
Like, he handled it like a champ, and none of us
Jordan,
really,
by the way.
yeah, Janderson is Jordan. I don't think any of us processed it until we were in the ditch.
Right.
And that's when we all looked around and we were like, what the hell?
We were like, we almost died, yo.
Yeah. Because, like, during it, like, I think I saw Janderson crack a smile, like, as we were drifting. So, I mean, it was like a free trip to an amusement park for like 30 seconds, but.
I guess. But also, Jordan has been there before.
Yeah, he's been in, like, those sliding situations.
So, for context, like, he had a Mustang. And he basically, he even said, like, this exact same situation, but instead of landing into a ditch, I hit a pole. And he fucking totaled his Mustang.
Yeah.
So, RIP his Mustang.
Yeah, it was a nice Mustang.
I know, dude.
Convertible, too.
I know. It was alright, dude. I miss it. I miss it. All right. I don't like sleeping naked.
Okay.
I literally, like, I have that on my list of fucking topics, too. And I don't know, dude, like, when we talked about doing the podcast for the very first day, I forget what happened, but we ended up not doing it that day.
Right.
But I was just like, I tried sleeping the night before, and I was just like, this fucking sucks. I don't like, anytime my dick was hard, I felt like I had to rest it on a pillow.
How big do you think your dick is that it needs to rest on a pillow?
Ginormous. But, fucking, so like, I lay on my side a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my dick would obviously get hard because I'm fucking sleeping naked for the first time. And
okay.
I would literally like wake up in the middle of the night and it would just be like pressing against my fucking bed.
You know what? Like, up to this point, this podcast has been pretty tame for what our normal humor is. And I like that you just threw it out there so fast. So if anybody's listening, like, it's too late to like.
We were done with the crashing.
No, I get that, but like it was so quick that like you're almost trapped now into this podcast.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, your balls deep in this podcast. If you're still listening and you clicked off, like, fuck you. You deserve to be spat on.
Absolutely. You might like that. I mean,
I don't know. We'll get that in another podcast. Fucking, but yeah, like, so, like, my dick would be, like, laying or, like, pressing into the bed. So I would literally have to take a pillow and, like, put it under it so it's, like, propped up. Like same level as me. Does that make sense?
Not even in the slightest.
I wish I could
take
show you. Like,
after
we turn the mics off, I'll go to my room.
I think I'm okay. I'm good, actually.
So I don't like sleeping naked, but everyone I told that to is like, well, you're fucking crazy. I love sleeping naked. Like, I love sleeping in my underwear.
Like, I prefer sleeping. Like, I like basketball shorts or sweatpants. That's what I go to bed in.
Really?
Like, that's like super comfortable for me.
Even when you're with your woman.
Mm-hmm.
What if
even
you guys?
Even then.
Even after you get done.
Yeah.
Doing the dirty. Yeah.
No, we've never done that.
The dirty? You people of God?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like every day. Every day I go to bed in sweatpants or basketball shorts, and like it's just comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If it's like cold, I'll put on like a hoodie.
And you'll sleep in a hoodie?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've fallen asleep in jeans. I have fallen asleep in a full-on jeans, like my like boots that I have, and a flannel.
Like sober? You've done that sober?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I've just been that tired before. Mm-hmm.
I guess. Well, I guess.
I'll like get home from like doing whatever. Like maybe we went to the bar or something like that, and
you also used to work at night too, so.
Yeah, like I'll just go to my room, and like before changing, I'll just lay down and be like, oh, I'll just lay down for a minute, and then just pass out.
That's fair. I guess. I don't know. I've never been so tired, I guess. Well, I have, but like I've never been like, fuck, I'm not taking off the jeans, I guess.
No way. Really?
See, it's not a level of tired. Because I feel like I've been that tired before, but like, I don't know. It's just a process.
That level of tired is maybe the best thing on planet Earth, because the moment your eyes shut, it's...
dude, it's the best. See,
it doesn't matter if you're on the floor. It feels like you're sleeping on a cloud.
See, my thing is... And my bed's like that too.
Your bed is so nice.
My bed is... Let me clarification. It's a California King.
Ooh.
It's a California King memory foam mattress with like 90 billion pillows on it.
You want to jerk yourself off a little more?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep touching my dick.
No.
Oh, okay. I feel like I just touched my dick. I don't know. I feel like I do that sometimes. Sometimes I just readjust my penis.
I mean, you're a guy, so yeah.
Everybody does that. But fucking
Not everybody. I mean, some people are women.
They don't touch their penis. Women don't have balls.
I'm questioning your taste in women. I mean, not your taste in women, but
you can
more
question
so.
my taste in women. Let's be real here, all right? That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole podcast right there.
Ben likes bald bitches.
The exes of the 50-50 podcast.
I thought about doing that as a topic.
It's not a bad topic.
But I thought we'd each do our own. You know what I mean? All right, but fuck that conversation right now.
Anyways.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess... I know. I always take my jeans off. I don't think I've ever once slept in jeans, except when I'm like a hypothetical real quick. Let's say I was getting drunk at somebody's house and I was wearing jeans. Like, I'm not going to take my pants off at your house.
What's the weirdest place you've ever fallen asleep?
Oh, fuck.
Because, like, I know mine off the top of my head. I don't remember what it was, but it was at the movie theater. I was watching a movie, and I full-on fell asleep, and I woke up and the credits were rolling.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say I was maybe with my dad or something, but I don't remember what we were seeing.
Maybe the Disney.
And I wasn't even, like... It's not even like I wasn't enjoying it, because I can't remember the last movie I saw in theaters I did enjoy. Yeah. Probably Chucky. Chucky was terrible.
The new Child's Play.
Yeah, Child's Play, whatever. But yeah, I just remember falling asleep and waking up and the credits were rolling.
Really?
Yeah.
That must have been forever ago. think it's forever ago. It wasn't
Yeah.
Bad Times at the El Royale, was it?
You know what movie I fell asleep during?
What?
I fell asleep during Infinity War. When
The
I saw
first time?
When I
You saw it
saw it
with me?
with Dulcie.
Oh.
Because I saw Infinity War like 4 times, I think.
Hmm.
Like in theaters. But the time I went with Dulcie, I had gotten off a third shift. And I went to go do something else, and I don't remember what it was, but I ended up not going to sleep that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then later that night, when I was getting ready for bed, Dulcie was like, "Do you want to go see Infinity War?" I was like, "All right, I'll go." Like it was that good.
Yeah, of course.
But I went, and I just remember like during parts of it, just like full on crashing.
Yeah.
But only for like a minute or two, and then I'd like snap back out of it. Like I don't ever think I fully drifted off, but like.
See, I don't know. I mean, I fell asleep on like a Disney World bus, but like.
I thought you were gonna say a ride. I was like, how long of a Disney ride?
No, never. I do have a story about a Disney ride, maybe for this podcast though. I cried one time.
And you cried at Disney World.
That'll be a whole thing. But fucking the weirdest place I probably like fell asleep and like had an event happen while I fall asleep was probably during either a health class I had in middle school or a study hall, because the study hall was in an actual classroom.
Well, that's not weird, though.
Yeah, that's why I thought. I was like, everybody
that's
does
not
it.
that weird.
But here's the thing, I had a
Everyone's falling
dream
asleep
in the study hall. Like, it was a regular like school desk, right?
Okay.
And it was like, it wasn't like in the cafeteria or anything, because I know a lot of study halls do that. But we were in the regular desk, and I fell asleep. And I had a dream that I was falling.
Those
So
suck,
I woke
dude.
up, and I like, my first instinct, I like grabbed the desk dramatically. So I literally was like, huh! So let me explain what just happened, actually. So we probably talked for like another 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And what had happened is when I slapped the desk to show like my falling dream, I accidentally, something happened where like something must have hit the non-record button, the stop button.
The non-record button?
Fuck you. The not record button. So we just was not, yeah, you get what I was saying.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you would take it from your chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, so we just missed 5 minutes of content. There's gonna be a little break right there, but like that should be the only time it happened. I know now not to smack the desk.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about dreams and stuff, blah 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 before, and fuck that for a second. So last weekend, we also talked about how we died last weekend. That was last weekend. I don't know if you said that, but. So let's talk about last weekend, because last weekend was an emotional weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're going for this.
So, a couple things. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm here.
For context, Tristan has been dating a girl named Emma for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
It'll be 2 years next month.
Which is crazy. We love her to death.
I do.
I love her more than Tristan, but
well,
maybe not sexually, but like
especially sexually.
Oh, I think I like you more sexually.
Stop it.
Oh, God, you want to turn the camera?
Let's just turn the podcast.
but fucking and she is going to study abroad in Scotland for 5 months, and you're gonna go
less than it'll
5
be
months.
it's
4.5
gonna be
months.
about 4 to 4.5. Yeah.
So, but you're gonna go see her in March.
Mm-hmm.
But last weekend is when she departed from us.
Yeah.
So
It's a week ago today.
Oh yeah, true. So it was on Friday.
Yep.
Okay. For some reason, but did she arrive there Saturday?
She got there Saturday morning, so it was an overnight flight.
Okay.
There, yeah.
So it wasn't like she left on Friday, but arrived on there Friday or anything like that.
No, she arrived on there Saturday morning.
Do you remember what time?
Oh shoot. So she probably got to London around maybe like 8 a.m. their time.
Ireland.
No, she went to she went to London first, and then had like a 1 hour delay, and then to Scotland. But it shows she maybe arrived in London around like 8 a.m. I want to say.
Oh, good.
And then arrived in Scotland around like 11 maybe.
That's still pretty decent.
So no, it's not bad. The only thing that like I hope she slept on the plane. I don't remember if she did or not. She said she maybe did for a little bit, but
we'll ask her.
Yeah.
So, you, her, and her mom drove up to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
How's the drive up there? Is that when like did emotions
that was hard.
rise?
That was hard. It was very quiet.
Yeah, really.
So we stopped at TGI Fridays and we had dinner there. I can't even explain to you how bad I had to pee.
Yeah,
like, dude, never in my life has it been that bad before. And we made it to TGI Fridays up in Chicago. And we had dinner there, and we cried a little bit at the table. And pretty sure the waiter like judged the shit out of us.
Yeah.
But he was cool. He was nice. But So we got done at TGI Fridays. We drove to the airport. We sat in the car and talked for a little bit, and then
What was the time frame there? Like, how long did you sit in the car?
After we parked at the airport, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, so it was really, really short.
Yeah, and then we just kicked her to the curb, and no, we didn't do that. We walked her inside. We got everything set up. We checked in her bags, and then they told us basically we had like 45 minutes before she needed to like go through security.
How long did it take you to find the gate?
No time at all.
Really? It was like right there?
Yeah, pretty much. We walked inside. We went up some stairs.
Mm-hmm.
We went up some stairs, and then immediately as soon as we got up those stairs and turned left, like everything was right there. Where she needed to check in, security was right there, and then there was a cafe right next to that. So like super easy to get through.
Interesting.
But we sat at the cafe for like 45 minutes and made a lot of jokes. Her and her mom played with like Snapchat filters together and whatnot, and her mom took a bunch of pictures of us, and then we had to say goodbye. And so that's what we did.
How long was the initial goodbye? Because that must have been like the breaking point, I'm imagining, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing like the car ride.
Well, there had been times before, like the night beforehand, she cried a lot, and
Yeah.
I did some crying as well. But the goodbye probably took us 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So
Ditto.
it was difficult, but it's, she's adjusting over there. Things are getting better. She's still having some rough patches, but yeah, that's that.
Yeah. So
I was wondering if you were going to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember I asked you a couple days ago, but
yeah.
So basically, the ride up there did it feel like there was tension at all?
No, the whole time didn't really feel tension until the only moment that I had tension. I don't know about them, but the woman told us 45 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was at probably, let's say, like 6:30.
In the morning?
No, at night.
Yeah.
So let's say like 7:15 is when she needs to go through security.
Okay.
So there wasn't tension until I thought 5 minutes had passed, and I looked down at my phone, and it was 7 o'clock.
Oh,
like
shit.
half an hour had gone by, and I had like only had 15 minutes left before she needed to go through.
Fuck.
That's when like tensions got really high. For me anyways. And it wasn't tension, it was more so just like general anxiety. Like of like shit, like this is happening.
It's like go ahead.
So I mean that's pretty much all I had to say about that. Like as far as my part goes, there wasn't a whole lot of tension there. It hit her mom at like TGI Fridays.
Like fuck, this is happening.
Yeah. And then on the drive from TGI Fridays to the airport, which was only like a 5-10 minute drive, she sat in the back with me, and we just kind of sat there. So.
At TGI Fridays?
No, in the backseat of the car while my mom drove to the airport, and then we all went inside together.
Interesting. Do you get anything at the cafe? I know it was a random thing.
I got a water, and her mom got a coffee because she was tired and she knew she had to drive all the way back.
For sure.
So.
Damn.
The drive back was really good though. Like her mom is she's super chill. So like she can like we just talked about a lot. We
just
talked
random
about
stuff.
Yeah, pretty much just general life stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
because when I saw you that night, and I was so worried you were gonna be in the house by yourself, in the senses that like I knew you just didn't want to be alone that night, but luckily I got home before you.
Yeah.
But not too much. I was probably only sitting home for like 20 minutes before you came in the door, and we just kind of chilled that night.
Yeah, and I was doing relatively okay, I think. When like,
100%.
I was just so
I feel like
I was worn out from everything.
I feel like there was almost like a sense of like not relief in the sense that like oh she's gone, but like also like fucking relief in the sense that like
we got through
shit that like the Band-Aid ripped off type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like I keep saying like that was the hardest part. The hardest part will come within the next week or two when like it's been multiple weeks since I've seen her and whatnot, and like we still FaceTime and talk, but no, I'm excited for March. I am excited to go there not only to see her, but I've never
podcast story.
Yeah. I've never been out of the country besides Canada, which was for family. So
how long were you there? To the curiosity. That's another story for another time.
Not really. I was young.
Oh, okay.
I was young the last time we went.
Much?
I think we maybe went a couple times, but we went for like maybe 4 days there. So I've never flown to another country. So this is the first time doing that. And I'm excited to see Scotland.
Oh yeah, and we had a good weekend after that too. I feel like it was a good like
in Scotland.
I feel like we had a good weekend here.
Oh yeah, because I had the next day off.
Yeah, because we exactly.
Yeah. And that's
Because we didn't do anything that night. Yeah, that's the night.
That's the night we almost died.
Mm-hmm. But so that was Friday.
That's crazy.
I know. I think all this just happened recently. That's why I was like, this is going to be a good podcast. Shout out my podcast.
Well, whose podcast?
Sorry, you sparked that shit. He walks out. Fucking
enjoy your solo podcast.
I thought about doing a solo podcast, but the thing with that, okay,
I'll fucking kill you.
That's a whole other thing. But so, because that was the night we almost died. That Friday night, like we came home, we just kind of played on our Switches, and then I went and got a Monster for you. I got something for myself, but I remember.
Dude, I don't remember drinking that Monster.
You didn't.
Is it still down there?
I think so, unless you drank it prior.
I don't know if I drank it like prior to you buying it.
It was weird. Unless you drank it like since this podcast.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it might be down there.
Because I woke up the next day and like just cleaned like the 5 things that were on the table.
Right.
And I saw the Monster there and I was like, this motherfucker didn't even drink it because I was so tired.
No, because I drank that orange dreamsicle.
Oh yeah, that
soda. That
Ashley got you. Ashley got you. Shout out Ashley.
Shout out
a story
Ashley.
about Ashley after this too. So that's what I was so weirded out because like I woke up the next morning and I was like, thank God he wanted to go to bed because I was so fucking tired too. And then I was like, wait, why was he tired? He just literally downed a Monster. And then I went down there and saw that and I was like, okay, makes sense. But relatively, you had a pretty good night. And then the next day is
not a pretty good night, but
yeah, well, I mean,
it was better than I was expecting.
Pretty like a good easing night.
Yeah,
after everything happened. Mm-hmm. So, and then the next day, you and me went to the gym in the morning. Yep. Which was bomb.
Which was awesome.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
We're about to go to the gym after this podcast, too. Just shout out. We're going to get fucking ripped, by the way. We're going to get ripped.
I don't know about.
We're going to get ripped.
I'm already ripping these jeans I'm wearing.
Fuck yeah. From your fucking bulging ass muscles and your 9-inch fucking cock. But,
what?
So, and then after that, we hit up Jordan, actually. And that was the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then we came and we chilled in my room for like 2 hours.
A while.
Yeah, we were there for a while. I was playing Call of Duty campaign. You guys were playing.
I FaceTimed Emma.
Civilization, whatever. CF6. And then we went into the restaurant and then we came back and almost died. And then we had a lot, like a decent amount more than I was expecting people over. I mean, it was only like 4 people, but I was just expecting. And we played Super Mario Party. And it was you, me, Jordan, and then Fink had slid by then. And then we got a call from our friend Ashley, and she was just crying.
Yeah, she was having a rough night.
This is what I was like talking about. Like it was an emotional ass weekend.
It really was. Like a lot happened.
So good.
And that's all I got.
It felt like an entire week, like crammed into a weekend.
Yeah.
And like she was crying. I'm not gonna say what about, but she will be on the podcast at some point. Shout out Ashley. But so I was like, yeah, I'll come get you. We can come chill, have a good ass night. And then we left, went and got her, came back, we played Super Mario Party, and besides some motherfuckers being extra, we had a bomb ass night.
No, it was a good time. You know what I'm looking forward to? Our next like group get together like New Year's was.
Yeah, but that we're gonna save that for a whole new podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That and Friendsmas can be one podcast.
That's what I'm saying. We combine those
alone. So, but I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah,
because,
I know exactly.
Like
Martin Luther King Jr.
It's not like anything ever gets like super insane crazy. Like crazy small little things happen.
I feel like it's like,
but like it's never like you don't like nobody's jumping off the roof. Nobody's like.
We did, yeah. You know exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
Too.
We did have that. We did have that happen once. We can.
They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, for sure.
But like it's just a good social gathering.
Yeah. So what was I gonna talk about? I'm at a lost fucking words right now. But
we're great at this,
dude. For real.
We're killing this.
Yeah, another podcast. But how was your week?
It's good. It's been a weird week at work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like weird events happening, but my boss told me to take tomorrow off, so
I'm chill as fuck.
We're gonna go to the party tomorrow night, and
we're gonna get a little litty.
We're gonna have a good time. Tomorrow's gonna be a lot of fun. Today's gonna be fun.
Tomorrow might be a podcast story, depending on how good it is. But
yeah, I'm hoping so.
Okay, so the thing about like our Friendsmas, whenever we have like a quote unquote party here, because I've been to like a couple like college parties,
right,
and shit. But the thing I like about doing stuff here at our house and having a house to ourselves and stuff is A, we don't have to worry about like anybody bothering us because it's not like we ever have 50 people here,
right.
And B, it's always close people, so it's not like you're gonna have a bunch of strangers walking into your house.
It's the dynamic that's so good about it because you and I are both pretty good about like
room hopping.
We are very like versatile in who we hang out with.
Yeah.
So like no matter what, every single room has a different person in it that like anybody could have a conversation with at least one person there.
Exactly.
So, and like I've seen the connections between people that have never met each other and they have hour-long conversations.
Exactly. So it's like, and I'm a big room hopper. So it's cool to see like people chilling and just going room to room. The only thing is like if there's people who are definitely like not capable of just sitting in a room and doing stuff, they'll follow me and see where I go. I noticed that a lot the last 2 times we had people over. But I don't know when the next time we're gonna have people over like that.
What's the next holiday?
Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Sunday. You down?
Absolutely. I worked that
Did you
night,
see what I put? So
I did.
Yeah, okay. So we have a group chat for originally Friendsmas, and then I changed it to New Everyone. Okay, Friendsmas is wild. So that'll be another podcast
That's
topic.
A whole other podcast.
But basically after everyone got fucked up, and then the next day we were all pretty rough. I put in the group chat and I said round 2, New Year's, and I changed the group to New Year's. And then
almost everybody that was at Friendsmas decided to show up.
Exactly.
Besides maybe like 1 or 2 people,
and then plus
Elsa
more people
and Mary showed up.
Yeah,
like they
our
weren't
homies
at Friendsmas, so it was a good time.
Yeah, dude, it was a good fucking time.
It's a good time, and I had to work at 7 a.m. the next morning.
How was work the next day? After that?
Slow.
Yeah, maybe we should save that too for
I mean, that's it. It's slow.
Yeah,
it's slow.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about regarding the intro first episode of the podcast?
Because a lot of our stories are going to pertain to our time living at this house.
Yeah.
So either that,
which has been almost 3 years. It's been over 3 years.
Yeah. Our own personal stories are probably going to come from experiences we've had. So, for example, after I graduated high school, I lived in Las Vegas for 6 months. I was going
to talk about that too, but go ahead.
So that's probably going to be some stories there and all that. I'm sure there's going to be some situations or events, or maybe even some people brought up. I'll probably bring up Ziggy at some point. One of my favorite coworkers from out there and all that. He tattooed me while I was out there. So that's where a lot of my stories are going to come from. But we've known each other since apparently technically freshman year, but we started hanging out sophomore year. So a lot of our stories are going to be us trying to remember stuff from high school. Yeah. So the other portion to the 50/50 podcast
name I was going to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
Is going to be the fact that we don't argue much, if ever.
I guess
we've had maybe 1 or 2 fights, and then like we've been on the brink of some fights here and there. Like the other day, we were on
I was going to talk. That's how I was going to close the podcast. But go ahead.
But so the other like. With us getting into arguments and all that, we do have a lot of differing opinions about some stuff, though.
Yeah,
so
some like hard.
I feel like when we start talking about like political stuff, which won't be often,
no.
Or like current events or something that happened in the news and all that, I'm sure that we're gonna have some differing opinions and all that, and it's just gonna have to be balls to the walls on that.
Fucking beat your ass.
I will literally kill you.
But so yeah, and then another thing that's going to happen on this 50/50 channel is every once in a while we won't just upload a podcast, we will upload a video. Like a video idea I want to do is show you guys the house, so when we talk about things in the house,
you guys get a better understanding.
You'll have like a better hands-on thing, and when we talk, we could show the podcast setup, so like you guys have almost like a visual. If you guys want us to see or to film a podcast, we could see how that goes. If you guys want to see it, definitely tell me.
Idea.
We have a couple other video ideas that we wanted to do. But also, like, every once in a while, just upload like a 50/50 does this. It'll be like the 50/50 house tour. So that's definitely going to be on this channel. Another thing I want to talk about real quick was, so your girlfriend is in Scotland.
Right.
And the goodbye was rough. And like you said, you lived in Vegas. And our goodbye was rough.
That was hard.
So the thing with me and goodbyes, I guess, is like, I'll almost avoid it until like the
moment.
That's why I was asking you like what was the boiling point, because like I wanted to know when it was so I could compare, because like ours was literally right before you drove off.
It was literally that hug that we had outside of the house as I was getting into the van. Car. That like and here's the thing though about that goodbye that was different was like I thought that was goodbye like for forever.
For what? Basically, quote unquote, forever. Yeah.
Yeah, like you'd come visit me, or I'd come visit you, or whatever, for a couple days. But like that was it. Like we would never live in the same city ever again.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, that yours didn't hit me until that exact moment.
That was my thing. Is it like it basically there was this tension, and like I knew it was happening, and if I sat there and dwelled on it, I'd be like, fuck, like this is actually happening. But it never hit me until we were moving stuff out of your house. And we were like literally right outside or whatever, and your dad came and said goodbye to me, And then you came and said goodbye, and like that's when it all hit. Like fuck, like this is the last time I'm gonna see you for a while.
That was an emotional day because okay, so like in one day, I had to say goodbye to Fink.
Yeah, true.
Who was like one of my best friends at the time and all that, and still is. I had to say goodbye to Jessica, and her and I had gotten super close that summer.
Yeah.
We had to spread the ashes of our cats that died in the backyard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's when Dad first cried. Was when we did that. We spread the ashes.
Maybe I did know that actually.
And then I had to say goodbye to the house, and then I had to say goodbye to you, and that all was within like a 2-hour span.
Yeah, true.
So
I remember
like,
everybody
it
just
was
dipping once
like
at a time.
Lot.
I was like, once I realized that I was like, I could be here until you did that. I was like, I'm gonna be here until he does that.
Yeah.
I remember taking that weekend off of work too, my just part-time job at the time. Cause I was like, I'm so glad I did because I was like, fuck, like there's no way I would have been able to go to work.
Right.
But yeah.
No, I remember my dad asking me if I wanted to drive. I'm like, yeah, I'm good to drive. He goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I guess you can take the first drive. And after I got in the van and like I just like we were both bawling our eyes out. But Dad turned to me and all that and he goes, aren't you glad you didn't want to drive? And I was like, just go. Just go.
Like shut your fucking ass up.
And I remember like stopping crying and then opening up Snapchat and the first thing I see
was my story.
Is like, there goes my best friend. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. I remember that day.
I remember that day vividly.
Yeah, I do too.
I remember which gas station we stopped afterwards. I remember the exact hotel. Yeah, probably not. I remember everything about that day. Yeah. I remember my dad getting mad at me that day.
For what?
I
remember that.
I think you guys wanted to like Fink asked to go get food or something somewhere as like a last meal for me being in town. And I asked him, he goes, we have so much stuff we need to do still. Like, you're not leaving the house.
I do remember that, actually.
And, like, I remember getting mad at him and then realizing, like he is right. Like, we had time to do this. So,
motherfuckers not
you guys
doing
helped
shit.
so much with all that.
Most of us did.
Nah, not all of us.
Fucking,
some of us walked around with a baseball bat and didn't do anything.
And let's talk about the other day, too. Let's talk about Tuesday night. When we almost had our boiling point fight, I guess.
Oh.
And that was, like... so it was almost a fight. I felt like it was to the point where if somebody would have said one more thing,
it was probably one more line away from being
somebody would have popped off. And the one thing we were just talking about this the other day too is like the one thing good about us is like, and when we do have debates and stuff, is we're good at reading the other person.
Right, we can tell when the line has been crossed and like,
or like you're about to cross.
Yeah.
And we could tell that like, if
things just got weird.
Things got like too intense for what we were arguing about.
I've never seen us like get to the point where like we were both just kind of silent looking at each other, like basically giving the whole like I dare you to say something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's when I noticed, and like the tension in the atmosphere in the room just got weird. And I remember you being like, I'm not trying to be a dick, and I just blew it off and I was like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, I know you're not, fine. And that's when I kind of looked at you and I was like, all right. Let's cool this off.
Yeah, exactly. Let's disarm everything. That's my thing. It's like once, I
it was pretty good because I mean, like 2 minutes later, I think you were like, trying to go get some food.
Yeah,
or like what you trying to eat, or like trying to make dinner.
We were gonna go. Yeah, we were gonna go to the gym, but it was just too emotional of a day.
Yeah.
So we were like, fuck that. And then we did something. I can't remember what we did. We made dinner and stuff, but then we did something. I want to say we just played video games.
We went to Janderson's.
Oh yeah, we went to Jordan's house. And we played Mario Party. It was a big Mario Party week.
Mario Party.
How fun is that fucking game?
I think you and I have played two different Mario Parties because it has never been fun for me once.
I don't know why. I just have this luck with it for a lot of times.
It's insane.
And like, oh my god. That's not really a podcast topic. It's not really that.
So you're like, that's a whole nother
podcast.
Mario Party is a whole nother podcast.
But yeah. So basically,
I started to sound like Alex Jones there for a second.
Alex Jones?
Never mind.
Austin Jones?
No.
I don't know who Alex Jones is.
That's fine.
I've heard the name a couple times. He a YouTuber?
No, he did podcasts. He's like psycho.
He sounds fucking psycho. Also, this is just a random thing. Speaking of YouTube, I was going to tell you this the other day, and it seems like the perfect fucking time to tell you. So you know Keen and JC, the two YouTubers we used to be obsessed with. You see their new show, right? The Reality House?
Sure.
So you haven't seen it?
No.
It's basically they take a bunch of YouTubers and like influencers and stuff, put them in a house, and they like it's a reality show where they knock people off. And, like, the winner will win something. So, like, season 1 had $25,000, and the season has $50,000.
Christ, okay.
This season started out nuts. FouseyTube is on there.
You've sold me on it.
FouseyTube. Lena the Plug. It's Lena, first off. Adam 22's girlfriend.
Interesting.
She's on there. Their best friend Ryan, he's popped up a couple times on there. Harrison, their best friend Harrison is on there.
I love Harrison.
And he does such a good job. I'm trying to think, and then just a couple other people that are. I'm trying.
Anything with FouseyTube intrigues me because FouseyTube is such a piece of shit.
Is FouseyTube? No, FouseyTube is not a piece of shit.
He's insane.
He's absolutely nuts. He's absolutely goddamn nuts.
He has so like we've talked about before about certain people having a god complex. His is like extreme.
I feel like it's a mental illness almost. Like FouseyTube is so.
Do you
fucking
think
crazy.
it could be all an act?
100%.
But do you think part of him genuinely believes all that stuff about himself, or do you think it's all like for show just to gain a following?
I legitimately think that FouseyTube is batshit insane.
Yeah,
I think that he needs to be put in a mental hospital, and I'm so dead serious. There's the thing.
No, I can tell by the look on your face.
I'm so dead serious because there's some people you can just tell.
Sure.
There's a couple people in my personal life that
I've tried to put you in so many times.
It's not true, but like he like I can just tell by his demeanor. I'm like, this man is fucking insane. Like if news popped up and said like FouseyTube shot up an orphanage, I'd be like, it makes sense.
Why an orphanage?
I don't know. Fucking
Excuse
orphanage,
me.
Update.
What was that sound?
Virus protection needs to be updated, and I'm not paying for that shit.
For your computer.
For real, I got a keyboard condom. I wish I could show them, but like, it's not actually a condom. Let me clarify that. But yeah, and that's the Reality House, dude. I was gonna tell you that off the podcast, but it seems like a
I might
good
have
time.
to check that out. Looks decent.
It is pretty decent.
So are we gonna go see 1917?
Yeah, at one point we're gonna go to the gym first.
Okay.
All right. This is the very first podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Anything you want to leave off with? He just shook his head no at me. I'm gonna keep recording, make him feel a little uncomfortable.
I don't know what you want me to say. Do you want to plug your YouTube channel?
Do you feel like you're being put on the spot right now?
I really do.
Yeah. Does that make you a little uncomfortable?
It makes me a little horny. And it's gone.
All right. Peace out, guys.